All right, so your name is?
Jared Cox.
Hey Jared, thank you. And you're an Acura engineer, I take it?
I am. I'm one of the development engineers for the car.
And we're going to do a 0 to 60 run using launch, or at least launch control if we can get to 60. Do we get to 60?
We get to about 80.
Okay, make that a 0 to 80 run.
So our first lap will give you a sighting lap.
Okay, all right, so just do an easy lap around the track.
We'll show you the start point, the break point, and then we'll come around. We'll do 2 launches.
All right. So have you guys have you announced 0 to 60 times?
We haven't announced our 0 to 60 times, but several magazines have been doing their own tests.
All right. So let's do this. I don't have the Solo DL, which is the instrument that we use to measure 0 to 60 times, but you guys can time it yourself. So I'll click my hands before I launch, and then you can time it at home and see how fast it is. So before we do that, tell me about how it launches and how it works. Okay.
So the way you do launch control first is you have to turn to track mode.
Okay, so that's very simple. All I do is...
So you're in Sport, and then Sport Plus, then you hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds.
Oop,
yep, you're there.
I'm in track mode. Yep.
So what you'll do, so let's just do a sighting lap, and then we'll do the actual. So just accelerate like you're going on the highway or something.
Okay, so can I just stomp on it?
Sure, if you want to.
All right, so this is without launch control, guys. I'm just gonna do a straight up, give it all the beans.
And then you're looking at those lay down cones above.
Okay.
And that's where your brake starts.
All right, here we go. So, ready to start timing? 3, 2, 1, boom! All right, did you time that? So, I do a lot of these kinds of acceleration runs, and I can usually tell pretty close how fast the car is going because I do a lot of them. And whenever my face goes like this, then it's definitely below 5 seconds.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that was, and if you guys are timing me, I'm going to say that was right around 4 seconds.
Okay. So that's without launch control.
That's without launch control, yeah. Yeah. There was a little bit of hesitation at the launch, and that's what slowed it down.
So we'll follow this arrows all the way around and get queued up for our first launch.
Okay, we'll do it again. Now this time we'll do it with launch control. And let's see if I can break into the 3s, because I feel that was around 4 seconds.
Okay.
It had that feeling to it. It did hook up really nicely. There was no wheel spin.
Right.
It just felt really good. And that's of course because it's an all-wheel drive car, so you're getting...
That's right.
Yeah.
2 electric motors in the front.
Yep.
1 in the rear between the engine and the transmission.
And total 570 horsepower.
573 total horsepower.
How much total torque?
473 total.
Okay.
But the torque peaks for the motors and the engine are different RPM.
Okay.
So you get 105, I think, foot-pounds in the front and about the same in the rear from the 2 electric motors.
Okay.
And then the engine itself is about 406. So for launch control, you're already in track mode.
Yep.
You're going to left foot brake.
Okay, I'm left foot braking, pushing hard.
So when you're ready, your right foot goes full throttle. Both feet are flat to the floor.
Okay.
RPM comes to 2200.
Yep.
Inside the tack, a message says launch mode ready. When you see that message, just lift off the brake and stay in the throttle until we hit those cones.
Can you change that RPM? Is that adjustable, or is it always 20?
Nope, that's ideal. That's the optimal RPM.
Because some launch control systems let you change it. Yeah. All right, guys, so here we go. We're going to time this, and I'm hoping I can crack into the 4s. And it'd be easier if he wasn't in the car because he had to wait. It'd be easier if I wasn't so heavy, but that's, it is what it is. So let's call it like what? You're probably 200-ish?
About 180.
180, and I'm certainly over 200. So, we're adding a little bit of extra heft to a car, and that makes a big difference. But we are at sea level, so that helps as well. All right, and so stamp hard. Okay, just lift. Go! 60. All right, did you guys time that? I felt that was certainly below the 4 second. It felt like it. I mean, you could feel the G's, you could feel it, you know, pushing you back. You can really feel the
it's definitely
the power. Yeah. So do you guys check for parameters? You know, make sure that there's a certain temperature so that you're not damaging the car when you do that repeatedly?
Yes. So you have to warm the car up first.
Yep.
So if you try and launch without the car being up to temperature, it'll give you a warning.
Okay.
And there's an internal counter that counts how many launches you've had.
Yep.
The service manual recommends after 400 launches, you should probably replace the clutch.
Okay. So we're going to get close to that on this car.
This car's, I think, about 300 so far.
I love how easy it is. There's nothing to hit. You just put it in track mode, hit the brake, hit the gas, and away you go.
That's right.
So, you know, for all you guys who love doing like impromptu stoplight drag races, it's almost impossible to use launch control. And actually, it's almost impossible to use launch control at a drag strip because, you know, you get the timing lights, and then by the time you get all the modes, you push all the buttons, the lights are gone, and you've lost that race. But here, let's pretend we're, you know, we pull up, we stage, right? Staging, we're staged, hit the brake, there we go, lights go green. Wow. Oh, that was our fastest one, I think. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Jerry.
You're welcome.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you for watching. Keep in mind that I'm here in Lime Rock. What state is this? Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Yeah, in Connecticut, doing a first drive review of the NSX. So coming up very soon, we're going to have the car on the track. We're going to have the car on the road, and I'm going to give you my best impression of a race car driver trying to keep the car on the track. So please stay tuned for that. As always, this is Roman and our wonderful Acura engineer Jared saying thanks for watching, and remember, go to tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world reviews. See you next time. Ciao. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 2016 Mazda CX-9, and this is Mazda's moonshot. What do I mean by that? Well, they've taken a car that used to be kind of a family truckster, and in this 6th generation, they've made it much more premium, much more sporty, much more expensive, and for the most part, I think they've succeeded, especially on the interior. It starts at about $32,000, and if you load it up with all the bells and whistles, like, of course, our tester, it goes all the way up to $44,000.